Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of City Skylines in our beautiful city. In today's episode I would like to focus on the hard rocks industry right here. Thus far this industry has only been functional and not extremely beautiful, I have to admit. What I would like to do with this is make it much more mountainy looking, and we're also gonna rearrange a couple of things. First and foremost, let's go ahead and pause the game. What we want to do is exchange this entire road right here. I would like this to go off in a much smoother direction. We're also gonna straighten out this street, and then I guess we can continue with some industrial roads. Let's see, if I get out here... Okay, that's actually not possible. Let's straighten this out just very briefly so I can get out. Okay, that's good enough. I will have to fix the tracks as well. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of rebuilding today. So what I would like to do is a much more adventurous scenario in order to get over to the industry. So let's try to set up a bridge like so. Yes, well, we'll have to straighten it out. But it's much more as I pictured it. Gonna continue the bridge, and then at this point I would like to get down and yes, join up with this line, however. It's not quite what I was hoping for here. Let's try this again. Maybe we're gonna take the other approach and kind of go up from here so we can nicely join up with our already existing bridge. Okay, maybe let me redo this again. I think we want to be more careful getting onto this piece of land, and then we do a little something like that, and hopefully this is gonna be smooth enough. Let me do something nice. Yes, okay, we did it. Now we still want access to all of the side roads, so I think what I'm gonna do is set up another arm here, but let's see, I guess that bridge is acceptable actually. We're then gonna branch off into here, branch off into this one, get rid of that, like so. And then the last one would be right there, okay? Let's make sure these are also industrial roads. Yeah, looking good. Okay, then this is gonna allow us to do some more expansion into this direction, and I also would like to connect that. So something else branching off like so. Ooh, I actually really like that. And here this bit we can fill up with a little more grid perspective. Go here, go there, go there. Okay. Let me actually see, where do we still have the natural resources? So we can use this as extraction sites. However, this might mean I need some more space. Anyways, can I get rid of these trees? Delete? Destroy maybe? Oh my gosh, I just moved the entire thing. Hopefully my game doesn't crash. Okay, undo. Oh, oh my gosh. Of course, we only want to pick the trees there. Thankfully it didn't let me delete everything. Huh, I thought there's a way for me to delete everything I mark. It's not delete or backspace, that's for sure. I mean, I also wonder in general how much performance we could gain deleting all these trees. At the moment it's actually not bad. If I'm paused, I'm around 25 frames, and if the game's running, I'm around 20 frames. I've seen much worse. Okay, actually maybe I was wrong, and there is no bulldoze option for the move it tool. We could either go ahead and install the better bulldoze mod that is probably gonna allow us to do that, or what I'm doing right now is just collecting all the trees in one location so that I have an easier time bulldozing them afterwards. But technically all of this should go away. I don't want the trees there. Every tree in the Hard Rocks district is going to be intentional. Man, I could almost make a thick forest compilation in this city. I never realized there were so many trees. You only ever realize that when they don't get destroyed anymore. Yeah, there we go. This must be the thickest forest of them all. I wonder, did I take away... No, they're all wiggling. That's insane. Yeah, we'll have to figure out a way to delete them. My son just woke up, so I'm gonna take a break. Oh no, I did something. Oh no, what did I do? Oh my gosh! Are you serious? How did this even happen? Ah, I see, of course. That's because I moved the entire thing and then moved it back again. That's what happened there. Okay. But the other buildings should still be fine. Also, our piping should be fine. Anyways, now that I have the thickest forest of them all, I wonder if I can remove the trees quicker. Also, I wondered if that has an influence on my frame rate. So, 16 frames here, 22, 27 frames here. It doesn't seem to have a big influence when we are a certain distance away. Only when we get really close, it has an influence. However, what happens if I unpause the game and actually all the trees wiggle? Then we are at 12 frames here. And we are at 22, so it doesn't really matter from this distance here, right? Because, yeah, the city parts are much worse. This is like 18 frames, and looking at the trees from here is 21 frames, or 24 even. So, essentially, we're not doing it for the performance. However, deleting this might actually be fun. Let's see. I take it back, it's not fun. Everything goes wrong in this city part now. It's dezoned again. Let's add more of these large ore mines, and then we will have to do something about the elevation. This is going to be interesting and a rather unusual approach. So first of all, we have built this entire area, and then we are gonna raise and lower it, fiddle around with the terrain. It's gonna be kind of crazy in my opinion. Anyways, let's go ahead and finally wrap this up. I want some more of these guys, like so. We could have a rope between that. I don't think so. So you go right there. Can I get another rig in here? I think this is still natural resources. Yeah, totally. So maybe I can get 2 more of those. I just have to get rid of the road. Not in industry area. Okay, that's something else. That is actually something we can fix. All of this should belong to the industry as well. And obviously also to the district. So we're gonna expand the district here as well. Back to the oil rig. Can I finally get 1 or 2? I think this is gonna be the final one. Just 1 more here. Then we can go ahead and take the road and hopefully place it like so. That's not good. I'm gonna have it right there and then make it hook up with the intersection we already have. Gonna make an intersection right there. Should be good. Additionally, I would like to have some more barracks. At the moment, let's see, how many barracks do we have? Like 5 or so, but we can increase the efficiency a lot more. So we're gonna add at least 2 more, like so. Is there a reason not to connect this? I guess at least one thing we could do is place a pathway. Let's do a shabby pathway actually, just to get over there. So something like that. Hold on. Can I get this a little closer? This looks weird. I guess it's gonna work out. Then I assume we can get rid of this power line. I want to get rid of all the power lines anyways, especially... Wait, what is this plane doing here? Anyways, it's time to not unpause the game any longer because I want to get rid of these power lines, and now we are going to lower and raise the terrain. I want to get things started with my airport. So if I bring this up and kind of, you know, guesstimate where I want this to be at. Let's say, for instance, right here. Let's see. No, this needs to go even higher. Higher and higher. Okay, now let's think about other buildings. So we would like to have mountainous area here. Maybe this is kind of a small valley, so we can leave this at the level it is currently at. Let's swap into the landscaping tool and we're gonna raise the terrain a little bit. Do I have enough soil available? I want to make this in a grandiose fashion. The first thing obviously we want to do is kind of level this out, and okay, we might get into a lot more issues with the trains this way. Let me actually go ahead and rearrange these train tracks as well. So instead of going underground here, we can just remain above ground. Okay, I got more soil. Let's see how that's gonna turn out. This can be extremely mountainous. It doesn't need to be perfectly flat. However, we still, of course, want it to be somewhat realistic, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna need to borrow a lot of soil from over here, and it's gonna be extremely expensive. People have asked me why I haven't enabled unlimited soil, and it's kind of an unlimited resource anyways. I think this is a reasonable price to pay in order to be able to terraform so much. Contrary to, for instance, the natural resources, if they are gone, they're gone, and no matter how many 100 years you play the city, it's always going to be gone, and I just don't like that. But in order to get soil, I just have to put in the work, and that is totally fine for me. I mean, it's not crazy work, let's face it. Okay, time to make some more bumpy terrain. We need to think about another road setup as well. And most of the tracks I will probably have to delete just because, well, they do not really follow my landscaping efforts, right? There we go. This slowly but surely makes a lot more sense. We can then always, you know, take a couple of row pieces and adjust them as well. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of work in order to accomplish this. And I'm not sure we're going to do everything in one episode. I want this area to look nice and not rushed. I'm just bringing up the train station here as well. Is this enough difference? This is still a little bit too steep, so we might want to push that up. Actually, thinking about this, we might want to make the curve a little nicer. That could contribute to the traffic flow. Okay, this is actually already taking form a little bit. I like it. Maybe let's do the train tracks now, though. Nah, it's still a little bit too early. Let's not try to take an entire section like this. And we're gonna move that up and adjust everything that is gonna look wonky after it. Like all of these poor bastards need to move up as well. Moving so much stuff with the Move It mod could result into issues once we unpause the game. I'm not sure how many things are not going to be properly registered after that. We'll see. Let's make some more connections here. That seems to make sense to me. Gonna bring this up a little bit, and here we gradually go down as well to the lowest level. You guys obviously want to move up a little bit, maybe to approximately the center of both elevations. And so we can make a more or less nice ramp here, can we? Yeah. Next, I also want to do some lowering techniques. We're gonna, get real advanced now. It's just important that a lot of the area is not completely flat. Right here too, I want to raise this all the way up. We're gonna take the next segment, raise this up as well. And in the center, we're gonna use terraforming. So all we have to do now is fill up the center a little bit with hilly stuff in order to make it look more believable. And then, rocks are gonna be incredibly important to actually make this believable. The problem is just if you want buildings alongside ramps, you're always gonna have issues. So what we want to achieve is just the closest we can get it to being believable, and then we're gonna obstruct everything that is not believable. A simple but very effective method, I would say. Gotta refill my soil again, but there's one more thing I wonder. Like, could I use the Smooth It tool to close these gaps? Okay, so that might be even the better method. Interesting. Powerline, what are you doing here? I thought I banished you all. Yeah, the smoothing actually does a pretty good job, initially at least. And then you just have to add a little bit more terrain yourself. More smooshing here and there. More smooshing everywhere. What? Powerline? Okay, so far so good. The next thing we need is a ginormous mountain right here. So we can go to the biggest brush, biggest everything, and we are just gonna, drop all of our soil here. I wonder if I should fill up this hole or just make a lake out of it. Making a lake would be much easier. My main focus is gonna be this mountain, and it looks as though we cannot do much with one load of soil. I wish they would let me carry a little bit more. But that's fine, it's gonna be worth it. Quite beautiful. We have a mountain here. It's just using up the soil so quickly. By the way, I just wanted to let the people know that are only interested in City Skylines that there will be more episodes again. I just wanted to get the Oxygen Not Included series started in a grandiose fashion, so people that might potentially be interested in it have already a lot of content to watch. But we're gonna balance these two series out a bit more. I mean, I also have to admit City Skylines takes much longer to record, mostly because it's much harder to, commentate over it. Where in Oxygen Not Included, I can just go ahead and explain everything for half an hour. Naturally, the editing quality is also in Oxygen Not Included, so still takes me a long time to edit. But actually getting enough footage together for Oxygen Not Included has been the easiest thing thus far. Okay, we're slowly but surely getting there. The mountain is raising. I mean, already now it looks much more interesting, even though nothing is polished. But yeah, this makes an enormous difference. Can I please smooth out this weirdness? Thank you. Some more smoothing here and there. Let's fix these tracks. Yes, you definitely can come up with the terrain. Come up here a little bit more. Yeah. This actually really starts to make me happy now. But to make these areas look really interesting, we would also have to place down a bunch of props. And I'm not a fan of props for this city, since I want to go for greatness from a certain distance and not necessarily up close. Let's now maybe consider the train tracks. They would be crossing the road right there. They could go ahead and continue like so. And then I guess at this point we want to go down and connect up with the original track. This elevation here, of course, is absolutely not necessary. We can drag it down with the terrain. Tiny bit of smoothing here as well, setting up rocks, and we should be fine. Now, are we happy with how this is generally terraformed? I think there's one more thing missing. I want to have more elevation stuff in this area. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tackle that issue, but I think the rest of the decoration and elevation we are gonna try to accomplish with the decals we have available. This definitely needs to raise up a little bit. There we go, more mountainy area there. Okay, I think this is already much better. If we now go through it with a fine-toothed comb. I would like to finish this by adding more mountains here in between the two districts, and I want this road to actually go through the mountain with a tunnel. Well, it's more gonna be of a hill rather than a mountain, but the mountain is gonna stretch all the way along here. So let me go ahead and set this up. You've seen me terraform enough. I'm just gonna finish the terraforming here, and then we look at it again before we go through it with the details. Alright, I completed the terraforming job, more or less. So it is now mountainy. It does make a lot more sense. There's still some areas that require fine-tuning as we go through placing down a bunch of rocks. We can actually go full on in with the big stuff this time. So this is gonna be kind of, oh no, this is not even big enough. Oh, I forgot this area is just ginormous. Okay, we'll have to place a lot of these rocks. A lot of them. All of this needs to be rock. Actually, before we do too much of that, I want to finish all the road patterns, because now I'm really confused what still needs doing. For instance, I took apart this train track and I would like to go directly into the mountain, please. And we will be coming out here at the other side, like so. Connect the line together. Looks crap. I have a better idea. Instead of just staying on the ground, we're actually gonna go up here a little bit and connect these together. There we go, that's actually more like it. And we're gonna do the same thing here, so I'm not even gonna go down at this point. This way I can just keep the track elevated. This is actually perfect right there. And join up with you. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. The train is hooked up once again. The next road I would like to continue in a weird fashion is this one here. So first of all, we want to kind of tunnel into here. And we want to come out here at the other end. Yes, and then bridge over. Ah, I love this. So we're just going to add a little bridge like so. Beautiful. This here is actually all going to be one lake. So it's going to stretch all the way over to the other industry, kind of alongside the mountain there. On this side of the lake, I want to make my expansion of the industry eventually when we need it. There are even more connections I would like to make, namely here. We want to go tunnel in, tunnel out at this point and join the roads. Now actually, instead of terraforming this, I'm just gonna place a bunch of rocks over it. I just love the rocks in this game. One more tunnel in this direction. We're gonna come out at this side. Can I do that? I guess not. Hang on. We can do this better. We just have to tunnel in a little bit earlier. And then we do that, for instance, and tunnel out here. Yes. Get that connected as well. Good, that's all the roads reconnected. We can go back to placing rocks. So basically we're also gonna use these types of rocks in order to make a whole bunch of formations everywhere. That's gonna be a theme throughout the entire Hard Rocks district. Maybe it will feel excessive at some points. Alright, this would be one example of how we could do it with the mountains. Right now it's just all rocks and no trees. And I think the trees I'm gonna do another time, so we're just gonna focus on the rocks. And I think now that I've started this theme, I will have to continue it along this mountain at least. We'll have to see. Nobody forces us to do anything, really. Some flat ones to cover up the terrain. Some bulky ones to mix it up every now and then. Okay, I can see this coming along. I don't want to add too much more. I think I'm just gonna fill up some of this with the flat, shiny rocks. Guys, this has been a really weird episode for me to actually make commentary over. I'm so sorry. Not my best piece of work, but what else can I talk about? Ah, this actually looks great. It almost kind of looks like bones. Okay, that's not bad. We can then surround this with a little bit of forest. Actually, we should do that right away. So I just decided otherwise. This is gonna take me a long time. I don't want to get reckless. So I think we're just gonna finish this mountain and then we'll call it quits for today. But I don't want to rush anything at this point. Let's just get to the trees here. Try to give this mountain a little bit more character. There we go, so much nicer. Some trees all the way around, well, not all the way, but I've also been placing some trees right here on top of the rocks with prop and tree anarchy. This is no problem, and it does add a really nice touch to it, giving it some more color. Okay, with that out of the way, I'm actually pretty happy. Let's go ahead and make the lake in order to wrap things up. Gonna need my water source tool. We're gonna put this to 0.6. That should probably be good. We're gonna place the water source right there. Move it up as much as I can. Let's see, that's too much. Maybe right there. Yeah, I guess we're gonna be fine. We're never gonna find out unless we unpause and save the game before that. I'm not sure if I forgot anything else in terms of connections, but I think we're good. There is the water coming up, and we will also have a little bit of a supply from the sewage pumps. I hope this doesn't have any consequences for our canals. Okay, I forgot the power. I knew there was something we still needed to do, and it's also about time we add more buildings so we don't have to have these power lines. Okay, that should be good. Are you happy now? Come on, power, come back to me. Thank you. Let's just wait for the water to settle down, and then we're gonna get a nice final look at the work we've done for today. Unfortunately, I didn't get quite as far as I would have liked. Still a lot of details we have to add. You can stop now? You are allowed to stop now, please? Uh-oh. I'm sorry, guys. I swear it's temporary. Actually, maybe it's not temporary. This looks massive. But it shouldn't technically do that. Maybe we're just gonna push it down a little more. Let's maybe raise this just a little bit more. I think I set the strength too high. Okay. Yeah, you guys don't need natural disasters, you have me. Okay, this has far greater consequences than I ever would have anticipated. Alright, looks like we're done flooding the place, so I guess after this wave it's gonna be over. Let's get to the thumbnail and the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, even though it was kind of weird to commentate over, you know, repetitive tasks. Thank you for watching, have a great time, and hopefully I'm going to catch you in the next one. Bye bye.